The chances of you being born is 1 in 400 trillion. Imagine 400 trillion. Imagine any lottery for 1 million, 2 billion, whatever number. The chances of you winning the lottery will be much lower than the chances of you being born in this planet was. Let that sink in for a second. And yet, we don't celebrate life. We don't celebrate the moments. We are always constantly comparing ourselves to everyone. We don't feel grateful to be alive. We are not grateful at all, I feel. And the only times that we are grateful is if there was like a bad situation that happened, and then you say that, okay, I'm grateful, I'll go pray. But then at all other times, you are just fighting and constantly comparing yourself to everyone and thinking that why I am not like that, constantly comparing your life with someone's journey. And I used to think that why do we actually do this? What's the like core reason behind why we're doing that? And this is happening from the last few years. This was not happening in our grandparents' generation and everything. It was much less. Why? Because we couldn't see it, right? We couldn't see if someone told, okay, they got a job in, let's say, a great bank during that time, they would be happy for them. And they would be happy and they would say, that's great, amazing. And they would just move on with their lives. Now, what the problem is with our generation is that social media has commoditized everything, right? It has commoditized authenticity. It has commoditized literally everything. So you can see everything when you have that information access, right? You constantly start searching for all this and you start comparing your life with that. And you compare it like at every instance, right? Every single minute, every single hour that you spend on social media, you're constantly comparing yourself with their journey. You're comparing yourself with how much money they make. You're comparing yourself with, how successful they are, how successful you aren't. And the reason why we do that is our brain is wired to have these sort of comparisons in order to either make you feel good or bad, right? These are the only two switches in your head, that you either see something and get motivated or go into a spiral loop and just start overthinking and beat yourself up for not doing the best. But then what takes you ahead or has taken people ahead is cut the noise and start doing stuff, like put in action, put in the work. Don't just see and feel good about yourself or feel shit about yourself. Just forget the stuff. Watch, okay, you compared yourself with someone doing well. Take that as a motivation, convert that into action, and then see what you achieve, right? It could be as small as writing one line of code, one page, reading one page a day, or starting to create content, working on a personal project, trying to sell a t-shirt, anything. You just don't want to do the work, but then you want to always compare yourself. Obviously the person who has like achieved whatever you are trying to achieve has put in the work. Maybe even he was looking up to someone and he put in the action, and those actions paid off, and they are where they are because of their actions. It's not because of what they saw or what they were following or what they did. It was purely action based work that they did, and their actions like paid off. And then yeah, you see that happen with everything, right? If you don't read one page a book every day, if you don't go to the gym every day, if you don't put in the effort every day, if you don't put in the action, you will not get results. You will constantly be in fight with yourself, saying that they are able to do it, I'm not able to do it. The only reason is because you're not consistent with actions. You're just consistent with watching other people, how they have achieved their goals, but then you don't put action. Action always means doing stuff, right? Put a 1 hour timer, sit in front of your computer, don't open YouTube, don't open any social media apps, nothing. do 1 hour of focused work. Okay, then write down what you did in that 1 hour. You'll see that, okay, this is what I did. This is probably very less. Probably I can do better. And then take a break, put in another block in 1 more hour, and do the same deep work, achieve your goals, and be happy. That's it. That's the whole point of living a grateful life, is that you say that I'll do this, but then you don't do it. You just don't listen to yourself. That's the highest form of self-respect. Consistency is the highest form of self-respect. I think Joe Rogan in his podcast said that someone asked him that, why do you work out so much or do something on a daily basis? And he said that that's how I respect myself. And that's a great line, because if I say I'm going to do something and if I don't do it, that's like saying I don't value you. And you always have to value yourself, because if you don't value yourself, people won't value you. Consistency is rare. People doing something for a long period of time is rare. Okay, having a 10%, 10 to 15% body fat is rare. Running every day is rare. Running a business is rare, because they put in effort, they show up. Showing up is the ultimate key to be consistent. If you don't feel like working today, doesn't matter, you still have to work. It's as simple as that. If I don't have that kind of bar, then I have to do something to increase that bar. That's it. If I am not able to keep up my word with myself, how am I even comparing myself to someone who has kept their word ever since they had this idea of becoming successful? That's a wrong comparison to have.